Tomorrow isn't just another Sunday. What's happening in the sky on March 22nd is something most people will completely miss, but you're going to feel it in ways that could change everything. While the world sleeps through this moment, something massive is shifting. The sun, the source of your conscious identity, your life force, your very sense of I am, is about to merge with Neptune, the planet of dissolution, dreams, and infinite possibility. And this isn't happening just anywhere. It's happening at the absolute dawn of the zodiac, at 01 degrees and 50 minutes Aries, where new beginnings are born from cosmic fire. But here's what nobody's telling you. This conjunction doesn't just bring inspiration or spiritual vibes. It's designed to dissolve something. The biggest block you've been carrying, the one you might not even realize is there. It's about to melt away like ice meeting spring warmth. And if you've been feeling this strange pull towards solitude lately, like you need to retreat from everything and everyone, keep watching. There's one specific reason this is happening to you right now, and I'll explain it later. So stick around. Because what's about to unfold tomorrow isn't random. We're standing at the edge of something that's been building for weeks, and the window is closing fast. The question is, are you ready to step through it? The cosmic setup you need to understand. Let me paint the full picture for you, because what's happening tomorrow didn't just appear out of nowhere. This has been orchestrated by the cosmos for months. On January 26th, Neptune made its final move into Aries, ending a 14-year cycle in Pisces and beginning a journey that will last until 2039. Then, just weeks later on February 20th, something historic happened. Saturn and Neptune met at the exact same degree, 0 degrees Aries, the world axis, the Aries point. This is the kind of alignment that happens once in a millennium. Saturn is structure, walls, boundaries, the material world. Neptune is boundless, spiritual, the infinite ocean of collective consciousness. When these two collided at the starting gate of the entire zodiac, they set something in motion, a global and personal restructuring of reality itself. But here's the thing about slow-moving outer planets. They operate like background frequencies. They're powerful, but they need a trigger to bring their energy into your direct experience. And tomorrow, that trigger arrives. The sun, moving fast and bright, crosses that same highly charged degree where Saturn and Neptune shook hands. It's like a celestial magnifying glass, illuminating everything those two giants planted in the cosmic soil. And when the sun merges with Neptune at 01 degrees and 50 minutes Aries tomorrow morning at 7:20, that's when the download begins. This isn't just another transit. This is the moment when the vision becomes visible, when the formless takes shape, when the impossible starts feeling inevitable. The purge has already started. If you've been feeling off lately, there's a reason. The last few weeks have been a systematic clearing of everything that can't survive in the new timeline you're stepping into. Think about it. On March 3rd, we had a powerful lunar eclipse in Virgo, a blood moon demanding the release of outdated routines, perfectionism, and physical clutter. Then on March 18th, the final new moon of the astrological year planted seeds in the dissolving waters of Pisces, asking for deep surrender. And maybe you've noticed old emotions bubbling up for no reason, sudden exhaustion, unexpected endings, friendships fading, plans falling apart, habits you thought were solid just crumbling. This isn't failure. This is preparation. By the time the sun meets Neptune tomorrow, your psychological and energetic landscape has been thoroughly purged. The eclipse removed the physical debris. The new moon cleared emotional attachments. And now, tomorrow, you're primed for the biggest dissolution of all, the release of the primary block that's been keeping you stuck. And here's what most people don't realize. The block isn't what you think it is. Your biggest block isn't what you've been fighting. You've probably spent years trying to overcome your limitations. Maybe it's fear of failure, maybe it's self-doubt, maybe it's the belief that you're not good enough, not ready, not worthy. But the real block, it's not any of those things. The biggest block is this: you've been taking your limitations too seriously. Tomorrow's Sun-Neptune conjunction lands at a degree that carries a specific symbolic message. In the ancient Sabian symbol system, this degree is represented by an image. A comedian reveals human nature. A comedian, not a warrior, not a saint, a comedian. Think about what a comedian does. They dissolve illusions through humor. They strip away societal pretenses, expose hypocrisies, and make you laugh at the very things you thought were so serious, so heavy, so unchangeable. The cosmic joke is this: the walls you've built around yourself, the fear-based conditioning, the rigid ego structures, they were never as solid as you believed. They were just ice, frozen energy. And tomorrow, as the sun, heat of consciousness, merges with Neptune, waters of dissolution in Aries, the season of spring, that ice breaks apart. You're about to realize that the limitations holding you back were merely psychological constructs, and once you see them for what they are, a cosmic joke, they instantly lose their power to bind you. The strange pull towards silence. Remember when I said if you've been feeling a pull towards solitude, there's a reason. This is it. Your soul has been preparing for tomorrow's download, and it knew you needed space, real space, not just physical distance from people, but energetic clearing. Because what's about to come through tomorrow, these insights, these realizations, these impossible dreams becoming suddenly possible, they require a clean channel. If you felt the urge to cancel plans, avoid crowds, turn off your phone, or just disappear into nature, that wasn't antisocial behavior. That was alignment. Neptune operates subverbally, unconsciously. It doesn't force its way in with loud announcements. It whispers, and you can't hear whispers in a crowded room. You've been instinctively creating the conditions to receive what's coming. And tomorrow, when the sun illuminates Neptune's domain, you're going to understand why the solitude was necessary. Because what you're about to receive isn't just information, it's a complete recalibration of what you thought was possible. The warrior meets the mystic. Here's where things get really interesting. Normally, when the sun meets Neptune, it can create confusion, loss of vitality, vulnerability to illusion. Neptune dissolves the sun's clear sense of self, and people can struggle to know who they are or what they want. But this conjunction is different. It's happening in Aries, the sign where the sun is exalted. This is where solar energy operates at peak efficiency, clarity, and courage. And Neptune in Aries, that's the archetype of the spiritual warrior. It's not passive escapism. It's fierce, pioneering action infused with profound empathy and divine inspiration. When the exalted sun meets Neptune in this martial domain, you don't get weakness, you get intoxication with infinity meeting fire. The ego isn't erased, it's purified. The aggressive, separating I am of Aries merges with the unified, compassionate we are of Neptune. This creates something powerful, sovereign interconnectedness. You can be completely yourself, fiercely autonomous, while remaining fully connected to the love and empathy of all life. The old binary, self versus other, individuality versus unity, it shatters, and that's just the first impossible dream. Impossible Dream 1, you stop choosing between yourself and others. For your entire life, you've probably believed you had to choose, be strong and autonomous, or be connected and compassionate, stand in your power, or merge with the collective, fight for yourself, or sacrifice for others. Tomorrow, that false choice dissolves. The Sun-Neptune conjunction in Aries is revealing a truth that your conditioning has hidden. You don't have to choose. You can stand fiercely in your unique autonomous power while remaining completely permeable to empathy and interconnectedness. What does this look like in practice? You'll find sudden courage to express your most authentic self without fear of abandonment or need for external validation. You'll be able to give generously without self-betrayal. You'll impact others without being overtaken by them. You'll set boundaries without guilt. You'll walk away from what doesn't align without second-guessing yourself. This is a profound spiritual rebirth of identity, and it's not just philosophical, you're going to feel it. Maybe it shows up as a conversation where you speak your truth effortlessly, Maybe it's a moment where you realize you no longer need someone's approval. Maybe it's just this quiet, unshakable knowing that you belong to yourself and to the whole all at once. This is the dream that's been impossible until now. But tomorrow, it becomes your new baseline. The secret weapon behind this shift. There's a hidden layer to all of this that makes the energy even more potent, and most astrologers aren't talking about it. Mars, the ruler of Aries, the planet that governs all the action, initiative, and willpower in this conjunction, is currently in Pisces, and Pisces is ruled by Neptune. This creates what's called mutual reception. Neptune is in Mars's sign, Aries, and Mars is in Neptune's sign, Pisces. They're feeding energy back and forth in a continuous loop. What this means for you, action becomes spiritualized. The warrior learns to navigate by feeling the currents of the cosmic ocean. You're not forcing anymore, you're flowing with force. Decisions come from intuition. Timing becomes divine. Effort becomes effortless. This is the art of moving without forcing, and it's the secret ingredient that allows the second impossible dream to materialize. Impossible Dream 2, your soul work becomes your real work. How many times have you dreamed of doing work that actually matters, work that heals, inspires, elevates humanity, work that feels like purpose, not just survival? And how many times has your rational mind shut it down with, "That's not realistic, you can't make money doing that, you need to be practical"? Tomorrow, that block dissolves. The Sun-Neptune conjunction, powered by the Mars-Neptune mutual reception, is igniting the vision and the absolute faith required to pivot. You're receiving the courage, Aries, to pursue the path of the healer, the artist, the mystic, the visionary leader, Neptune, and actually build a sustainable foundation for it. This isn't about quitting your job tomorrow morning, it's about a fundamental shift in what you believe is possible. The deep-seated conditioning that insists survival requires participation in a soulless system. It's melting. New forms of spiritual currency are being established. The impossible dream that materializes is this: the ability to forge a professional path where spiritual integrity and material survival are not mutually exclusive. You might receive a sudden idea for a creative project that feels divinely inspired. You might finally understand how to monetize your healing gifts. You might meet someone who opens a door you didn't know existed. Or you might just wake up on March 23rd with absolute clarity about what you're meant to be doing and the fear that used to stop you. It's just gone. The vision meets the builder. Now here's where the cosmos shows its genius, because Neptune energy on its own can be beautiful but formless. Visions, dreams, inspiration, they're powerful, but they need structure to become real. And that's exactly what happens next. On March 25th, just 3 days after the Sun merges with Neptune, the Sun conjoins Saturn at 04 degrees and 43 minutes Aries. Saturn is the master builder, the architect of physical reality. When the illuminated Sun hits Saturn, the visionary dream conceived on March 22nd is subjected to a reality check. This is the universe asking, are you willing to do the hard, disciplined, consistent work required to anchor this dream into physical form? If your dream is just fantasy or escapism, Saturn will expose it. But if it's rooted in genuine soul truth and spiritual integrity, which it will be because Neptune in Aries only births authentic visions, then Saturn doesn't deny it. Saturn builds it. And on that same day, at 2:15 in the afternoon, the Sun forms a supportive sextile to Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto provides the regenerative power, the obsessive focus, the sheer force of will necessary to materialize the vision. You dream it on March 22nd, you structure it on March 25th, you empower it with unstoppable will on March 25th. It's a 72-hour window of pure manifestation magic. Impossible Dream 3, the formless becomes physical. The third impossible dream is the one that sounds the most far-fetched, and yet it might be the most tangible. You've probably had visions before, beautiful ideas of what life could be like, what the world could look like, how you could live differently. but they stayed in your head. They remained as daydreams, meditations, Pinterest boards. The block has always been the cynicism that arises when spiritual ideals repeatedly fail to take root in dense physical reality. You've tried before. It didn't work. So why would it work now? Tomorrow, that cynicism dissolves. Because this Sun-Neptune conjunction doesn't just give you a vision, it gives you a structural mandate. It's occurring in the same sign as Saturn. The dream you download on March 22nd isn't a hallucination. It's a blueprint. The impossible dream that becomes real is this: the actual physical construction of new communities, new art forms, new healing modalities, new systems of living that reflect your highest spiritual ideals. You're not just visualizing the new earth in meditation. You're actively, courageously building it in the waking world. The cosmos is demanding that the dream takes form. Maybe it's finally starting that community garden. Maybe it's launching the healing practice. Maybe it's writing the book, painting the vision, building the app, creating the space. Whatever it is, it stops being someday and becomes now. What nobody is warning you about. Here's what most spiritual content won't tell you, but I will. Not everyone is going to make it through this shift gracefully. Tomorrow's energy is powerful, but it's also exposing, and some people aren't ready for what gets revealed. You might notice people around you acting strangely, emotional instability, sudden meltdowns, irrational decisions. That's because Neptune dissolves boundaries, including the boundaries that were keeping their shadow material contained. For the awakened ones, this is liberation. For the unaware, this is chaos. This is why protecting your energy tomorrow is crucial. Be mindful of who you're around. Don't absorb emotions that aren't yours. If someone is spiraling, you can have compassion without getting pulled into their storm. And here's the other thing. Mercury just went direct on March 20th, the same day as the spring equinox. Mental fog is clearing. Cognitive processing is aligning with forward momentum. This means the insights you receive tomorrow will be crystal clear. There's no confusion, no second guessing. You'll know. The final piece most people miss. There's one more layer to this that ties everything together, and it's written in the stars in a way that's almost poetic. The entire northern hemisphere is experiencing spring tomorrow. March 20th was the vernal equinox, the moment when day and night are equal, when the sun enters Aries and the astrological new year begins. And just 2 days later, the sun merges with Neptune. The ancient Chinese text, the I Ching, has a hexagram for this exact energy, hexagram 59, dispersing or dissolution. It paints the image of a massive block of ice breaking up and dispersing into a flowing river as spring warmth arrives. This is the exact astronomical, psychological, and seasonal reality of tomorrow. The block is frozen structural conditioning. The spring warmth is the sun's conscious awareness. The flowing river is Neptune's dissolving waters. And Aries is the season of rebirth. You're not going to have to force the block to break. It's going to melt suddenly, inexplicably. A deep-seated fear, a chronic doubt, a limiting paradigm that seemed impenetrable. It just dissolves, and in its place, 3 impossible dreams, now suddenly absolutely possible. What to do tomorrow? So what should you actually do on March 22nd? First, create space. This isn't a day to overschedule yourself or fill your calendar with distractions. Give yourself room to receive. If you've been feeling the pull towards solitude, honor it. Take a walk in nature, sit in silence. Journal. Second, pay attention to what arises. This might come as a sudden knowing, a vision during meditation, a conversation that sparks something, or just a quiet shift in how you feel. Don't dismiss it. Write it down. Third, trust what you receive, even if it doesn't make logical sense yet. The vision you download tomorrow is ahead of your current reality. Your rational mind might try to reject it. Don't let it. And fourth, prepare to act, because on March 25th, Saturn is going to ask you to prove you're serious, have a plan ready, know your first step, be willing to do the work. Tomorrow isn't just about receiving inspiration, it's about stepping into a new version of yourself that's been waiting for this exact moment to emerge. The shift is inevitable. Here's the truth: whether you consciously engage with this energy or not, something is shifting tomorrow. The Sun-Neptune conjunction is happening. The cosmic download is being transmitted. The block is dissolving. The only question is, are you going to be aware of it? Because the people who recognize this moment for what it is, a rare, mathematically precise window to dissolve frozen ego structures and step into impossible dreams, they're going to leap forward. New identities, new vocations, new realities, physically manifested. The people who sleep through it will still feel the shift, but they won't understand it. They'll wake up on March 23rd feeling different, but not knowing why. They'll sense something changed, but won't be able to name it. Don't be that person. You've been prepared for this. The solitude, the purging, the strange pull you've been feeling, it's all been leading to tomorrow. The Sun-Neptune conjunction at 01 degrees and 50 minutes Aries on March 22nd, 2026 is the ignition of a profound spiritual initiation. The comedian is revealing human nature, and the cosmic joke is that your limitations were never real. They were just ice, waiting for spring. Tomorrow, the ice melts. The warrior meets the mystic, the sovereign meets the interconnected, the vision meets the builder, and three impossible dreams become absolutely, inevitably, undeniably real. The era of the spiritual warrior has officially begun, and you're standing at the threshold. Be ready. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.